I would like to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. P. Aruna Saraswathi. She's a senior psychiatric counselor and positive parenting specialist with over 2 decades of experience in providing mental health solutions through counseling and therapy practices. She's a pioneer in India to counsel and train people, especially parents, on gadget de-addiction and social media de-addiction. She is the co-founder of Yes People Tech Solutions, a boutique HR and OD consulting organization providing valuable support to many clients across varied sectors, and the founder of 4C Consulting, a boutique psychiatric counseling organization. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Good evening, all. Good evening, Imanshi.
Good evening, ma'am. Is there anything you'd like to say before we start with the questions?
If you're all ready, we can start the program.
Okay, fine. Perfect. So, ma'am, what is your background? What are the subjects that you took up in your schooling, graduation, and further studies?
Okay, so you want to know what all I studied in my school?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I grew up in a place called as Velur in Tamil Nadu,
Okay.
and it is a small town. And I don't know how many of you are familiar. It's very famous for Christian Medical College, one of the leading hospitals, like equivalent to AIMS and all.
Wow.
And then, of course, now I think that you must all have been will be familiar with Velur Institute of Technology.
Yes.
PI. And so I was doing schooling, say 30 years before. We didn't had any option. We didn't had a lot of subject choice and all. All of us, either it was science, math science or commerce. So invariably we have to study science. So I did the regular science and other things, but always when I was doing my science also, more than physics or chemistry or biology, I was always interested in psychology, where we had very when you study science, you will get only one chapter, right? One lesson those days. So that used to intrigue me a lot, and I was really waiting to study psychology. So then, while doing, and to be very frank, I'm not at all a maths person. Maths, I really wanted to maintain a very long distance with maths, and so engineering was not my forte. Nor more than the medicine, the regular medicine, I wanted to do psychology. And then when I was looking into the various options of psychology, I got to know about in psychology itself, you can be a psychiatrist, you can be a psychologist, you can be a psychiatric counselor. So many fields are there. Clinical psychologist, so many things are there. And in that, I was very much got interested in the field of counseling. I started realizing that my specialty will be counseling people. More than giving treatment, counseling people through various therapies, because it's a very interesting field, because it's not like any doctor or anything where you will just check a person through stethoscope or something and diagnose whether you are having fever and then prescribing a medicine. This is like you are going to get into their people's mind problem and speaking with them and trying to find a solution for it. Actually, you are not going to give a solution. You are going to make the other person to give the solution. So all these things made me interested, and I chose psychology. And when doing my master's, I did medical and psychiatric. We have to do both the settings, and during that period of time, during my post-graduation, I became much more clear that I have to be in the psychiatric setting only. And then further, I wanted to develop my counseling skills, so I did a post-graduation diploma in psychiatric counseling from the CMC, and afterwards I did my PhD, my doctorate in positive parenting. Actually, my topic is I think that this will be the right platform also. STEMM4Girls. I did my PhD topic was about positive parenting. How positive parenting can influence women.
Okay.
Because whenever there are very when in a corporate role, women working itself, the ratio is very less. I think by
Exactly.
now you people must have been hearing about this quite a lot. And
Yes.
why that is happening? What is there any relevant to the parenting being happening? So that was my topic. That how is the positive parenting being impactful for the girls to become the future leaders? That was my doctorate. And of course,
Wow.
afterwards, I did so many cognitive behavioral therapy, psychodrama therapy, so many other things I'm keep on doing, because this is a field where you have to keep abreasting yourself, studying yourself, keep now also gadget counseling, the social media
Okay.
de-addiction. So
Mm.
many things I'm doing.
Okay, wow, that is wonderful. So, what are the job opportunities one can do after pursuing a degree in psychiatric counseling?
Yeah, actually, now I think that the future is going to be where now we are getting to hear so much about AI, robotics, so many
Mm-hmm.
things. Am I right? But
Yes.
one field where robotics nor AI can come into take the job away is
Uh-huh.
the field of the psychology.
Of course.
Definitely, no robot can replace a real human,
Hmm.
because that when you do counseling, the real one-on-one human touch is the most important thing that any client will look into it. Like,
Of course.
for example, this even so this field is going to play a very important role, that psychology, where you have to be the and with the upcoming crisis that is happening with the present COVID situation itself.
Yeah.
If you take, it's not only about coronavirus that is that is affecting a person physically. This has affected everywhere. Am I right? In all the
Yes. Yes.
our economy is gone down. It has affected people of all areas, of all levels. It has affected in each level, in its percentage. Like, for
Yeah.
example, the hotel industry is totally shut down.
Hmm.
So many factors, and so
Yes.
much of all over the world, people are undergoing so much of stress and so much of depression, which I think that definitely you girls must be reading so many about other things with the pressures that is happening. So definitely the
Yes.
counseling is going to become a major important criteria. Like, already in Western countries, people
Hmm.
going for counseling is a very common and adaptable thing. Like, it's
Yes.
regular, it's
Yes.
okay, it's good too that you have to go and meet your counselor monthly once and have a session and clear yourself and come. And fortunately, I think that India, especially the metropolitan cities, it's picking up. And this
Yes.
COVID situation, I'll tell you that it has made all the people from all over the path, like rural or urban, people are
Hmm.
reaching out to counseling. Even now, with my present case scenario itself, I can say that
Yes.
because now, as I have started doing virtually,
Hmm.
I'm getting more clients from
Oh,
rural
wow.
areas
Wow.
with so many issues and problems. So
Yes.
counseling is going to be the future, and not always doctors can, because doctors doesn't have the time to sit and speak with the client for like 45 minutes or 1 hour. It's a
Yeah.
time consuming thing. So various therapies if you have to do also.
Hmm.
Counseling is going to be the forte, and it's one of the highly paid job also. It's one of the highly paid job, but many are not aware about it, and many are not totally fully marketing it, or sometimes
Hmm.
some counselors are being underpaid where their value is not being shown properly. But
Okay.
it is going to be in the highest demand, this thing. Even my friend who is in UK,
Hmm.
we did our post graduation together, and she is like, what to say, she is earning much more than a computer engineer or someone.
Oh, wow.
So like only thing is, many are not aware, and counseling is going to be the the thing. It's one of the thing you cannot avoid that. And any part of the job loss is happening, job cutting is happening.
Mm.
Counseling, no one can do that, because mental health is going to be a highly important thing. And not only when we speak about mental health, it's not only the doctors are going to do the job. Counselors has to
Yes,
do the much more important job, equal to
exactly.
doctors.
Yes, agreed. So, what do you think? What did you enjoy the most when you were pursuing your degree, ma'am?
The whole of my when I say, I think that by the look of my face itself you'll understand, it was the most happiest period of my life, my post graduation.
Wow.
I was doing my medical and psychiatry. Even the we used to be placed about more interesting part was, we used to have theory only weekly, 2.5 days. Two and a half
Uh-huh.
days was
Uh-huh.
practicals. We will be
Wow.
placed in the hospital settings, psychiatric settings, and we will be given from the beginning the field exposure, like meeting a small work, like getting the case history, write the case history, simple thing, and going and speaking with the people and all. So media for me, I always love to meet people, different kind of people from various sectors of people, and I always love to speak with people and find out what they are really doing, what how they have come up in life, so many things. Even like if this would not be in a virtual session, I would have loved to meet all of you in person, especially in
Yes.
girls. So like
Yes.
during that time, I was for my medical setting, I was placed in a KMC in Chennai in burns department.
Okay.
I hope you all will understand what is a burns department. Burns department is a place where only victims who are affected by fire will come. And
Okay.
very interesting thing I have to say, my morning reporting time will be it was at 8 to 8:15. And
Okay.
some statistics, we don't know why that happens. Within 10 o'clock every day, definitely 7 to 8 cases will come.
Okay.
uh, Morning, they say that morning time is the very particular time to have for the fire accidents to happen, or most of many like say 7 8 people come, means out of
Mhm.
that definitely 50 people will be women who
Oh.
would have attempted suicide, or a husband would have poured kerosene and kept fire. So
Okay.
definitely, so when we go at 8:15, within 2 hours to 2.5 hours, I'll be getting to meet new people will be getting coming and getting admitted with the different varied of burns. And it
Uh-huh.
was a very life-changing experience for me,
Of
because
course. Of
when they
course.
come itself, doctors used to say how much they are whether they are going to survive or not
Mm.
survive, or how long it is going to be, and how much the trauma that they went under. Because certain things more than you studying in theory,
Mm.
like for example people suffering because of the physical health of the trauma and all,
Yeah.
no theory can teach you those things. These are all very practical things you have to
Of
see by
course.
yourself in the this thing. So the medical setting, what does kind of, though it was a very tiresome experience, but it
Okay.
was a very great learning for me, that I got to know what is really life all about in a
Mm-hmm.
different sense also. And that time simultaneously we will be placed in 1.5 days in the psychiatric setting also. There I was placed with one senior psychologist called as Dr. Rudran, and
Okay.
I was placed in SCARF. It is in
Okay.
India, SCARF is the number one center for schizophrenia.
Oh,
Schizophrenia
okay.
is one of the mental
Illnesses.
illness.
Yes.
It is a
Yes.
number one mental illness also. So these two places, it was highly because before that, frankly telling you, I have never
Mm-hmm.
met anyone mentally ill, really mentally ill, apart from
Okay.
movies. So
Yes.
that is the place there where I got a chance to meet so many mentally ill patient, and
Mm.
speaking with them. Till then, I had this feeling that mentally ill people always will not speak good.
Okay.
You cannot have a healthy conversation with the mentally ill people. But those places made me realize that it's not so.
Mm.
Yes, they are affected. They are no, they're mentally ill, but it doesn't mean that always they are insane, you know.
Of
And
course.
they are also human being.
Yes.
So very kind of highly enlightening experiences I used to have. I got from those places, and then I clearly decided that those two places also made me realize that I want to become a counselor, and
Okay.
that too, it made me much more clearer that
Mm.
because psychiatry, if you take, many don't are not aware that there are so many divisions in this field. So there
Okay.
I got to know that the counseling, the role of a counselor.
Mm.
So there I got decided that I want to become a counselor, behavioral therapist, though that is my area. I decided I didn't want to go in depth of the
Mm.
mental illness. I wanted to do general counseling, to
Okay.
marital counseling, children counseling, behavioral
Mm.
therapy, so many things. Then I decided there what will be my area, and I chose from that.
Okay. Very interesting, ma'am. Very interesting. So, how do you think STEM will progress in the coming years?
Um, STEM, yeah. Like what to say? STEM is a STEM. We have to say that STEM is going to be there always, right?
Of course.
The world is changing around us. Digital
Yes.
technology has become a core part of our everyday lives.
Yes.
Advances in technology impact everything, especially the world of work, and that too with the current situation. Entire
Exactly.
job sectors
Yes.
are emerging or disappearing, and workforces are rushing to keep up with the change.
Hmm.
Am I
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and automobile automation and globalization are changing the way we think about, and our careers are getting defined now. Employment is becoming fluid, and people will go from having one profession to several in their working life. No more it's going to be that like only one career is going to be. You have to do
Yes.
two to three simultaneous different roles. As the world of work changes, we will need to change our skills to match. The
Of
gap
course.
between
Yes.
the knowledge generated in the education system and the skills demanded by employers and individuals is widening. Overcoming these
Hmm.
limitations require a priority focus on STEM, science,
Yes.
technology,
Yes.
engineering, and mathematics, including the development of the workplace, what to say, skills in STEM. Future careers is going to rely heavily on 21st century skills.
Hmm.
What is 21st century skills? It is like example, it's like a critical thinking, creativity, cultural awareness, collaboration, and problem solving. So from where does all this come? It all comes in STEM only. All this
Yes.
required that so the 21st century skills and the STEM goes hand in hand actually. So
Yes.
even I think that what to say, the one of the World Economy Forum, the future of the job report states that the critical thinking and the problem solving will be the two
Hmm.
top skill required to thrive in 2020. So like if you really
Okay.
want to be in your career, top of your career and be a model, these are the two things are going to be the important thing they are saying. So these two things you
Okay.
are going to get in STEM only.
STEM only.
STEM learning is
Yes.
also like important for students in their everyday life also. It's not only about your
Yes.
career. It's also in your, because now with the rise of the new technology in biomedicine, so many other things, robotics,
Hmm.
AI, it's going to be very important.
Thank you. Okay. So, how did you decide studying psychiatric counseling was the right choice? So, we guys are grateful to have a platform like STEM for Girls, wherein people like you come here and tell us about your profession. But in your time, like say when you were in the 12th grade, how did you decide that, this is what you want to pursue?
Yeah, like as I said, I come from a very small town where
Mm.
there were only, what to say, there were only four colleges in my place, and there were only
Okay.
three schools. One was Salesian institution, one was for boys, and one was for co-ed. That's all
Okay.
the school
Okay.
was. So in my times it was like, what to say, a girl means okay, study, complete your schooling, do one degree, and get married. That kind of
Oh,
atmosphere.
of course.
But
Yeah.
fortunately, I come from a educated family. My father was a government lawyer, and my mother was a
Wow,
high
that's
school
great.
science teacher. My
Wow.
mother is a science teacher. So, and of course, my elder sister, she was doing her MCA, and my younger brother was an engineer. But I never, even though I come from this field, I never
Hmm.
had interest in this areras. And I
Okay.
used to read a lot. Like from my grade 8, I used to read a lot, though there was no Kindle or e-books available those times. Whatever books I used to get from the local library, I used to read lot of novels, lot of books. And those times watching movie was, we had what to say, to tell you, it was only Doordarshan for us
Uh-huh.
that time.
Yeah.
I don't even think
Yes.
that you know
Yes.
what is Doordarshan. That it was a one government channel, where only some very one weekly, one Sunday, one movie used to come.
Hmm.
So we didn't had, but while reading so many books, somehow I don't know why, I don't know what happened. The field of the psychology, knowing about people's mind, and trying to work through other people's mind, and trying to help the other people when they are in a problem, or when they are having an issue,
Hmm.
really excited me. So when I was searching, and when I was speaking with so many people what I'm supposed to study,
Hmm.
that time they all said that psychology, if you are interested to know about the other people mind and other things, then psychology is the right subject. So then, even when I was doing my undergrad and psychology, that time also I was not there. I was that time only I got my much more clearer picture whether to go in the clinical psychology side or counseling side and all. Then
Hmm.
in my post graduation, I got much more clear picture that I want to be a psychiatric counselor.
Okay, wow, wonderful. So, for the audience and the visitors that have come, this will be my last question. So, you can start thinking of the questions. You can type them down and I will read them out in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I can recognize you and you can ask them. So, the last question is, any final piece of advice you would like to give us budding girls in STEM?
Okay, so all of you over here, you are all okay from grade 8. So
Yes.
you want many like two it's a yeah, only one thing, important thing before I go into the deep philosophical part. Let me just say in a casual way,
Of course.
girls, please kindly don't think that STEM is a very difficult thing. STEM is a hard thing. It is, or maybe it's for too intelligent people, or for too
Hmm.
smart people who have to do hard work. No, that part I really want to say no. In STEM itself, you have to choose where your skill is, how you can enhance that skill in a very different way, and how you can be successful. And if actually girls are highly needed in STEM, because everywhere,
Yes.
anywhere, any corporates, any top companies, if we take, only one third of the population only we are having girls, and that too in the
Yes.
leadership role. The
Hardly any
ratio
of them.
becomes much more less. Actually, so
Yes.
actually, one side there is a big job demand is there, and one side there is a big vacuum is there. So that
Hmm.
vacuum has to be filled up, and we
Yes.
have to. Actually, there is a massive gender imbalance that persists in STEM related fields. Like
Yes.
exact cross industry percentage is very tricky. So like, and that too with the post COVID digitalization is a future. Every
Yes.
organization is moving in different stages of digitalization, and STEM students are in most need for these opportunities. And actually, there is a STEM job crisis that is happening. There is currently a gap between the jobs that are in high demand and the skills required to fill them.
Of
And
course. Yes.
so yes, and one thing what is needed now with the COVID situation all around the world,
Hmm.
economy has to be improved. Every country is speaking about this, irrespective of developed country or developing country or underdeveloped country. So what is the important thing? Innovation. You need innovation to boost the economy. So we have all heard of the tech boom currently happening, and we can even see it is happening right before our eyes. So that like there is a new gadget out every few hours, and it's hard to keep up with the trends. What is coming out? However,
Yes.
these trends
Yes.
will will boost the economy. And
Yes.
companies want to build a talent pool. Companies need to have talent to stay competitive in this industries. And companies want to give high gender preference, and women who are coming up with coming up in the STEM technology. Company really wants to give priority to them. And so there is a, and also one more important thing, like to you girls, I want to say there is a big gender gap that needs bringing. According to few Fortune magazine, women comprise about only one fourth of the workforce in the largest technology companies. One
Yes.
fourth,
Yes.
like Google or Facebook or Microsoft, and all,
Hmm.
that is only one fourth. So there is what to say, like STEM education creates other really useful, and other really useful lot of other skills also it really uses. And that's what I
Yes.
think that we spoke also, like let's importance of these programs, like right now what we are speaking is like mastering STEM skills will also create those
Yes.
attributes and soft skills that your kids need to develop for any future career also.
Yes. It's a good foundation.
Yes, for the 21st century.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Okay. So now I'll open the floor to questions. Anyone willing to ask questions, please raise your hand. I'll recognize you, or you could type it in the chat box and I'll read it out and ma'am can answer it. Okay, ma'am. So we have a question. Why do you
Yeah.
think there's a stigma in Indians to go for counseling?
Yes, excellent question, Ishita. Yeah,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you say is absolutely true. Because um, uh, India as a country, we are not ready to see the mental illness like physical illness, nor we are ready to give the same importance to mental illness. It is a taboo. And even to me also, personally also, I do counseling at home. And many have given me this feedback that ma'am, you please do counseling at home itself, because when we come to your place, no one knows that we are coming for counseling. Because
Hmm.
here people around us are always judging. Okay,
Yes.
what's wrong with this person? Why this person is doing? Trying to find fault and this thing. And if at all, if you hear the word counseling or psychiatry, they try to put a very big wrong tag to it. And that's
Yes.
why I think that. But now, with so much of open speech about so many people, like so many celebrities have started speaking out that
Hmm.
yes, I am undergoing depression, yes, I am undergoing stress. Like, as long as because it's like, what to say, it's a simple thing, I will say. It's not related to psychiatry also. Like people generally don't like to speak about what wrong is happening in their life. They just want to tell always what are the good things that is happening in their life. Actually, it's not that possible. Life means it's going to be it's going to be a mixture of both good and bad. So when we speak about both the good things and the bad things, and say that this is what the life is, then the general thinking will differ. So
Yes.
that is the basic crux of it. Like, even for example, like if a child gets to, like those days when I was studying in schooling and all, it was
Hmm.
very natural. We used to have the system where a child doesn't score mark, they will be made to stay in one year and study and then come. Now that
Yes.
system
Yes.
is not there, because actually, according to me, it's not the right thing. That from the beginning, the child has to start facing the hard thing. And no one during my school times, no one teased that child, no one bullied the child, nothing happened. It was part
Yes.
okay. I couldn't study, so I'm studying for one more year. I completed, and it came out. And even in any families also, they will openly say that this thing happened, this bad thing. Nowadays, when we are, even though we are living in a very closely, physically, like apartment wise, to our neighbor, we speak only about the good things. We don't say what is the bad thing that is happening in our home. So, like,
Yes.
as long as, like, if the People have to stop being judgmental. If that comes into effect, then naturally the stigma of going to the counseling also will go.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. Okay. So we'll just wait for other people to ask their questions. Okay, Pujita has asked, ma'am, often people underestimate people who speak out. This further affects the mental health of the person. How should we support such people if they are close to us?
Sorry, Himanshi, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no problem. So Pujita has asked, often people underestimate people who speak out. This further affects the mental health of the person. How should we support such people if they are close to us?
Excellent, excellent. Yes, people many a times, like when you are being a schoolgirls, when even if you are a highly outspoken person, extrovert person, also you will face certain issues, and it is often misinterpreted as being the student is showing off. That kind of tag also they try to give it. One thing
Yes.
what I will say is, why do you want the approval from your classmate? Why you are looking for the approval? Why do you want them to why you are listening to their comment? Even if you are going to be extrovert, there is going to be one comment that you are show off. If you are going to be introvert and if you are not going to speak much also, they are going to say that this person is an introvert, maybe he doesn't know anything, he's not speaking. Actually, human beings, they are going to comment in either way, even if you are going to speak, not speak also. So it's always like after 15, and that way, especially for the girls, I will always say that don't look at others, what they are trying to tell about you, because it can be it can become highly stressful for you. You just be clear in what you want in life, how you want to be, and go ahead. Don't try to get the feedback either from your of course, getting a feedback from your close friend, it's perfectly fine. That is going to be, who's not judgmental, the really honest person feedback, you can take it. But like this is school age, it has to be like limited to say one or two persons, because definitely not 10 people can be your close friend nor your well-wisher. You have to get, you can be with a group of people for having fun and all, but being
Yes.
having a honest friend, it is going to be only one or two. So stop giving importance. And if the person if the person is close to you and the person is getting affected, means please try to tell them like why you are even listening to their words. Like don't listen to them. You just go ahead and what you are doing.
Yes, agreed. Okay, so we'll wait for the next question. Okay, Sanya has asked, interacting with the people that were affected mentally, how did it change your perspective towards them?
Interacting with the people, sorry, interacting with the people.
Interacting with the people that were affected mentally, how did it change your perspective towards them?
Yeah, like I was telling about the quality of being non-judgmental, right?
Yes.
When you interact with mentally ill people, you will definitely develop that quality, because to a mentally ill people, you cannot be judgmental. That is because whatever they are saying, whatever actions they are doing, whether it is speaking or non-speaking actions, anything, you cannot come to any conclusion that they are doing for this purpose, or they are doing they are doing this action with this thought in mind. You cannot come to any conclusion. So you have to be highly non-judgmental. Just like when you speak to a newborn, like when you speak to a newborn baby, you can ask me, how can I speak to a newborn baby? No, you can speak to a newborn baby. Like you'll be saying all cuddly things and all. So when you say that, when you look at the baby, how you will be looking, will you think that will this baby be thinking like this? Any negative thoughts will come to your mind? No, actually. So like that, when you meet up mentally ill people, you will your mind also will become clean slate actually. that helped me that helped me a lot as a person, also being non-judgmental and getting to give the benefit of doubt to the people in real life also.
Yes.
It will help you.
Okay, great. So someone has asked me a question privately, so I won't say the name. It's a long question. So, okay. So I feel my friend needs to visit a counselor, but I don't know how I should convince her parents, as they will not be ready to pay too much. I feel she needs, as I already go to a counselor. For her parents, nothing like counseling exists. So yes, that's
Yes.
the question.
Now, with the present, what to say? This also I'm hearing, because I'm also part of. I'm in the board of honorary board of Hiranandan International School, where many students come to me saying that I need counseling. I know that
Yes,
I
yes.
have this issue, but I don't think my parent will accept that me going to a counselor. There are a lot of stigma, because why this is happening, because the parent is not totally aware of what is counseling. They immediately, when they hear the word counseling, they connect it with the mental illness, mental ill-being. So
Yes.
definitely, and if the friend can take the effort to go and sit with the parent and clear the clarity of the word counseling. What is counseling? Counseling means it's not nothing related to mental illness. You know what is counseling? Many used to ask me, what is counseling? It's nothing. Counseling is like we are all human beings. We are all going to face
Yes.
certain issues and problems. So when we are facing certain issues and problems, our mind will be too much clouded with that issues, with that problems. It will be totally covered. So how to come out of it? We will not be able to see clearly. Like the window is closed, or the window is closed with the screen, something like that. So what a
Mm.
counselor will do? Counselor will just open the window, or will open the screen and make you see your own solution to that problem. No counselor can give a solution to you, because what this say I'll say X, what this X is actually undergoing, really undergoing, no one can understand apart from the person who is facing that issue. And so many things are there, so many other external factors are there, like your schooling, your family environment, so many other things. So no, actually a good counselor will not say, I know, I can understand. It's very, very hard to say that. So that is going to be the thing. So the counselor is just going to make you see to how to come out of the issues and the problems. So if you can try and make time and sit with the parent and explain what is
Yes.
counseling, instead of explaining to the parent what their child is undergoing,
Mm.
you try to explain to the parent what is counseling. Because if you
Okay.
tell the parent that your child is undergoing this kind of issue, then the parent will immediately say, for this issue, why you need to go to counseling? So that
Yes.
also used to come. This is such a small thing, or it is just part of you growing up. They might brush it out, brush it aside. So you have to explain what is counseling, and then you have to say, like, it will be good if she meets a counselor and get a professional. And there are a lot of people, and even my number also, Himanshi, you can share if that with the person. I
Of
do
course,
many
ma'am.
times without any taking any fee or anything. Now also
Mm.
I do through Zoom or WhatsApp video call also. You can share my number also.
Okay, ma'am, I will be doing that. So the next question is by Krisha. She has asked, how do you empathize with people going through issues?
Yes. In counseling, we have lot of skills. We counseling lot of skills. I don't want to go into the detail of it,
Mm.
but the first important skill is empathy. That is a
Yes.
basic thing that we will be trained, and more than, I will say that more than getting trained, you have to really understand it. And when you are being with that person, say that 35 minutes or 45 minutes or 60 minutes, you have to really listen to that person. Once you start
Yes.
really listening to the person and trying to get that, get whatever the person is speaking, trying to get it to your mind,
Hmm.
automatically the empathy skill will start coming. Once
Okay.
you are honest and truly listen to that issue, then the empathy will come. And when you are being highly non-judgmental, then definitely also the empathy will come. And you have to be honest in yourself, how you are going to be, how you are going to listen to that issues. Like according to that's what I was telling in counseling, many a times there is no such thing as small issue, big issue. You cannot
Yes.
define an issue as small issue or big issue, because for you it might be a small issue, the person who is facing that issue is a very big issue. So no
Yes.
issue is small,
They
small. You have to be open, you have to listen, and you have to be honest in that listening thing. Then the empathy skill, empathy is it's I won't even say the skill, it's a one of
Hmm.
the important quality that not only a counselor has to have, actually all human beings are supposed to have. Because empathy is a kind of a feeling where even to your friend, when your friend comes and shares something, some misfortune that has happened, how will you hear? You will hear like when your close friend says, you will hear as though you underwent that suffering. You will hear,
Yes.
you will
Yes.
feel that when your close friend says that. So it's the
Yes.
same feeling that a counselor has to have with all his clients. Then only a counselor can be a successful counselor.
Okay, great. So this is the last question for today's session. Karen has asked, "Hi ma'am, in your opinion, how are parents and children coping up with these trying times during the pandemic?"
Yeah, the very interesting question. This is a topic that I think that after the lockdown, I must have spoken about around 4 to 5 sessions. It's a very
Okay.
different scenario that is
Yes.
happening, and it's an unprecedented situation that is happening. No one has faced, and we cannot say that this country faced, that country faced, or maybe our elders faced. No, nothing. It's a totally different situation, and each family is handling it in their own way. And some are undergoing great amount of stress and tension also, with so many other factors being played, because some families are being affected very economically also. And some families be what to say, being together at home, even though work at home
Yes.
also.
Yes.
I'm getting to hear by my counseling, and so many kids, they are saying we don't get to see our parents the whole of the day also, because they are in their room, we are in the room, they are in the room watching that Netflix, and we are in our room
Yes.
with our own online classes, social media. And actually certain families, the families have become very close, and they are using the time very productively to become much more close. Certain families, even though they are living in the under the one roof, they are not going out also, they are totally distance apart. The parent doesn't know what the child is doing, the child doesn't know what the parent is doing. So
Yes.
actually to say we psychiatrists to counselors, we are seeing that in another, we are expecting in another 3 months, 6 months, the impact of whatever is happening now is going to come
Yes.
in a very big way. It's going to come definitely, because we have started seeing now itself small signs and symptoms.
Yes.
It's going to come out now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us. It was a very interesting session, and it was great having you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Imanchi, for calling me, and I'm very happy that I could speak with all of your girls. Only one thing that though I'm missing is, as I'm a very people-oriented person, it would have been very great if I would have got a chance to meet all of you in person physically and speak. And even though, okay, it's whatever the situation, we have to go with it. Thanks a
Yes,
lot
ma'am.
for giving me the opportunity